everybody. Um, so, first impressions of Islam in Turkey. I do want to say I've been in a very limited area for my very short time here, so this should be expanded, and I'll see things, as I live here longer. But these are just my few first impressions, and I'll say that I've been to less than 20 different masjids, so Muslim houses of worship. So it's not a very big cross section, you could say. Out of I think it's over 1,600 that are in this city. So there's a lot. It's very interesting here. It's very different than what I'm used to. For those who aren't Muslims, I'll try to explain the norm and then what I see here in Turkey. Friday prayer speeches. So Friday prayer is something that is, it's like going to church on Sunday, except I don't know. Maybe it's given, or going to the synagogue on Saturday. It's the day. I'm not comparing it in terms of religious verdicts. Sorry, I'm thinking too much into this. But it's similar, okay? It's similar. Friday is our holy day, and so we have to go to the masjid. It's an obligation on every male to do that. And usually in America, kind of the norm from what I've seen from the few places I've been is 25 minutes is the speech, and then 5 minutes is the prayer. Maybe 30 minutes total. Sometimes it gets to 45 minutes. That's typically how it was also in Damascus and Alexandria and Cairo. About 30 to 45 minutes is the speech. Now, my first Friday prayer, which was last Friday. No, sorry, 2 Fridays before. The raw speech, actually this includes even the prayer, was 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Can you just imagine what's going in through my head? I get there right at the end of the call to prayer, and everyone is, it's already packed, and it's coming out. Hear that noise? It's because my Mac is messed up. I don't like Mac. So the whole masjid is just packed, people coming out, and because usually, there's plenty of space, and, the speech hasn't started yet. I get there and I'm sitting outside. They put an extra carpet, so I'm outside. I'm way out of the place of worship, and he just starts and then he ends, and I'm just like, what? 6 minutes. Now I didn't understand anything. Except the words in Arabic and the prayers. Actually, even then the prayers. Now I feel for all those people who sit in America and listen to these prayers in Arabic and don't have any clue what's going on. It's a really bad place to be because you don't even know what you're saying. And so I just kind of kept quiet because I'm like, I don't even know what he's praying for. It's a secular state. The religious institutions are controlled by the secular institutions. So I don't really want to say necessarily amen or ameen to accept the prayer because I don't know what he's saying. Last Friday was Independence Day or whatever. Cumhuriyet Bayrama, maybe, I think it's called. And the guy was making prayers for Mustafa Kemal Atatürk and stuff like that. So, there's a little bit of controversy there because he's a controversial historical figure who openly rejected Islam and tried to stop Islam from expanding and religious freedom. Very secular. All the speeches here, geez, I hope I don't get kicked out of the country for these posts. In fact, I'll tell you one thing, YouTube is actually illegal. I'm using a proxy to get to it so that I can post these videos and see your comments and stuff. And it's illegal because one person posted a video making fun of, the father of modern Turkey. I think it said that he was homosexual or something, and it was posted by Cypriots, maybe. Turkish army has been there in the north. That's a very controversial issue as well. So it's been banned since, and I just was reading an article of it. There's a court order of it being allowed again. This is big stuff. You do not insult this person. I'm not openly insulting him. I'm just saying I wouldn't necessarily want to say a prayer for someone who died and, openly restricted the freedom of religion. So all these speeches are written by local government officials, so they have regions, right? Üsküdar, it's a part of Istanbul, which is a huge city, one of the largest cities in the world. And so the local, head of the religious department writes the speeches for all the different masjids, and then everyone stands up there with a paper and reads it. This is so weird because this is not how I've seen it anywhere else. It's interesting, right? Secular state, but controlling the religion. I don't believe in that relationship, but that's how it is. Now, police are in the masjid, because I was in a big one of the two biggest ones in my place. I thought, I might go to a new place. Actually, it was my first Friday prayer there. And so you have police, so local authorities, security forces in this place of worship, this religious thing, and I think they should be separate, that are helping people sit down. And he was very nice, but it's still like, what is the relationship here between religion and state? It's an ambivalent, sort of unclear relationship. Prayers here are, it's so interesting. So after the call to prayer, right away, people, if there is a supererogatory prayer before that, they pray right away, and then they pray the prayer, and then they're done. And then they do their post-prayer remembrance of God. And it's, if you're basically not on your way to the masjid at the time of prayer, you miss it. Everything is just so quick. I have never in my life seen people pray so quickly. I swear to you, from everywhere I've been, I've never seen like it on a community level of people who pray so quickly. In one masjid, which is right here down the street, I've been there a couple times. Now, there's something in Islam we do. You have the call to prayer, the big one where they call out, and then you have a call to begin prayer, itself. So, he says, prayer is going to begin, and he says, kind of what he says in the long thing of come to prayer, come to success, but he says it shorter. And then he's done, and the imam, the person who's leading the prayer turns around. He makes sure the lines are straight. He says, focus in your prayer. He might say, pray as if it's your last prayer. And then he begins. Here, he's not even done with the iqamah. He's not even finished. And the imam already says, Allahu Akbar. And it's like, boom. I mean, I heard the adhan, and, right when it finished or when it started, I headed out the door. And I got there. It's literally down the street. I mean, I have to walk 2 minutes. And I barely caught the first unit of prayer for Maghrib, and it's 3 units. So I missed almost a third of the prayer. Everything is just very quick. It's not normal to me. I don't want to judge these people. I have no right to do that, but it seems like it's just a sort of get in, get out, fast food version of religion. I don't like it. I don't feel the same way I did in certain masjids, for example in Damascus especially, spiritually, on a spiritual level. I heard that some of these imams started praying after they became imams. A lot of them don't have the Quran memorized. From what I heard, I have no clue if it's true or not. This is just things I'm hearing, first impressions. I just came here, just sharing it with you. They're trained by a secular, it's called the Diyanat, and it's secular anyways. I don't know. And then they're people of the state. I mean, they're workers. They're provided with housing, all this stuff. Religious marriages are forbidden, mind you, by law. I mean, no one prosecutes you. But by law, you can't have a religious marriage, which is what is necessary in Islam. Otherwise, it's adultery. Your relationship is adultery. So people do that, more privately. But now it's kind of seen like a blue law in the U.S., I think they're called. At one point, the call to prayer was forbidden, and then it was only in Turkish. I mean, so it's just a very interesting relationship here. A lot of people who are religious, as in they pray, are parts of these different groups. Some people wear turbans and beards, and they're few. And then you have these people who sit down and read a thing, and they read a certain prayer, and there are tariqat, so these different Sufi orders and stuff. So, I'm not a part of any group. I don't like joining groups, but I like to learn a little from everyone myself. But it's just, I don't know. It's really strange. I didn't come here to learn Islam. I came here to learn Turkish. But I don't know. It's weird. It's not what I'd expect here. But yeah, that's what it is. All right.